Soldier caught in a drone ambush. Airstrike on the bridge. Soldiers who can't hide from FPV drones. Or those who completely ignore the drone heading their way. Mine traps. Russian drone operators whose location got exposed. Those helplessly fighting off FPV drones. Russian soldiers who became targets while acting strange. Stay tuned for more. July 29th, 2026. In the forest of the Lyman direction, Russian forces keep attempting to establish positions under tree cover, believing the canopy provides protection from the drones above. Ukraine's Signum battalion operators thread FPV drones through the branches with the kind of precision that comes from experience, finding each soldier regardless of what's above them. Soldiers hiding in vegetation, a rider on a motorbike, someone crossing open ground. Each position identified, tracked, and the drone closes in. Fresh troops arriving in this sector keep encountering the same coverage. The forest doesn't protect anyone here. One of the stranger moments on this front. A Russian soldier walking through an open field with an FPV drone right beside him, 1 meter away, matching his pace. He doesn't look at it, doesn't slow down, doesn't reach for a weapon, just keeps walking, as if whatever is flying next to him is someone else's problem. The drone operator holds position, observing. Eventually the drone commits. The walk ends there. A Russian soldier on a motorbike, an FPV drone right behind him and closing fast. Open ground in every direction. The only option is the tree line ahead. He pushes the bike as hard as it goes, jumps off at the last moment and runs into the forest just as the drone arrives. The trees absorb the impact. He survives. Reconnaissance keeps tracking every movement as he goes deeper into the cover, believing the canopy is keeping him safe. A second drone arrives overhead and drops ammunition directly down through the trees. The forest that saved him from the first drone doesn't protect him from what falls from above. Open ground, no weapon, nowhere to go. A Russian soldier facing a drone in the worst possible position on this front. A few seconds pass. The drone closes in and finds him exactly where he stood. South of Pokrovsk, 1st Battalion drone operators running operations around the clock. Day shifts, night shifts, the coverage doesn't stop. After dark, thermal drones track body heat through darkness that Russian soldiers believe is protecting them. The drone arrives before they hear it, before they locate it, sometimes before they even understand what's happening. No position in this sector holds up under this kind of persistent observation. The night that was supposed to offer cover offers none. Russian drone operators working from what they believe are safe positions. Forest dugouts, reinforced shelters, distance from the line. Ukrainian reconnaissance tracks each location. The coordinates get passed, and the operator behind the joystick becomes the next target. Distance doesn't protect them here. A Ukrainian FPV operator running a routine search through tree lines in southern Donetsk, scanning for movement, camouflaged positions, anything that doesn't belong. Several minutes of careful observation pass before something on the ground catches the operator's attention. A figure in camouflage, pressed flat, trying to disappear into the terrain. The operator has seen this before and knows exactly what they're looking at. The drone moves in. The soldier attempts one last response as it closes. Too late. You can support us by liking and commenting on the video. Ukraine's prime unit working through Russian logistics in this sector. Ambush drones already positioned along the routes before the vehicles arrive. A motorcyclist, a quad bike, 4 cars, a truck, and a fuel supply. Each one found and struck in the same operational stretch. What this footage adds up to is a unit that can no longer move by vehicle in this area. No motorcycle, no car, no truck, no fuel left to put in any of them. Whatever Russian forces in this sector needed to reach, they're walking there now. Russian soldiers wearing anti-drone thermal cloaks, designed to mask body heat from thermal imaging systems. The logic is sound against automated targeting. Against a manually controlled FPV drone with a camera operator actively searching, it performs differently. Ukraine's 63rd Mechanized Brigade pilots locate them anyway, because the cloak reduces the thermal signature but doesn't eliminate it. And an experienced operator, reading the terrain, learns to spot the shapes that don't belong. Moving at night in cloaks, believing the darkness and the suit provide cover, the drone finds each one the same way. The technology meant to protect them becomes the thing that makes them easier to identify. No warning, no indication anything is wrong. A Russian soldier on a motorbike moving through the front. An anti-tank mine finds him before any drone does. A lone Russian soldier in southern Donetsk, just meters from Ukrainian positions, wandering into territory where the risk is immediate. An FPV drone is dispatched and closes in within minutes. He spots it early and opens fire, shot after shot, tracking the drone as it approaches. None of them connect. The drone moves faster than the aim can follow and closes in before the last round is fired. A Ukrainian MiG-29 delivering an AASM Hammer strike against a bridge in Gorodishche, Kursk Oblast. A crossing Russia has been actively using to rotate troops toward the front. The bridge that was keeping that movement possible is no longer available. This is what the accumulation looks like. Not a single engagement, not one dramatic moment. Just the same process running again and again across different locations, different days, different soldiers. A reconnaissance drone finds a position, coordinates a pass, an FPV closes in, then the next one. The scale of what this footage represents isn't in any single clip. It's in how many times the same sequence plays out without stopping. 3 Russian soldiers trying to fit onto a single ATV, a vehicle too small for all of them, but the only option available. A sign of how stretched logistics have become. Not enough transport, too many soldiers sharing what remains. After a long struggle, they manage to squeeze in together and start moving. What they don't know is that Ukraine's Magyar's Bird's reconnaissance drone has been watching the whole time, and an FPV was already dispatched before they even got the vehicle moving. As the drone closes in, one soldier jumps clear. The other 2 don't get the chance. You can support us by liking and commenting on the video. A motorcyclist pushed off course by a drone closing in, just the opening seconds of what follows. From there, Ukraine's 3rd Corps, 63rd Brigade works through the rest of the sector. Soldiers who abandoned their bikes and disappeared into cover found there too. Trucks carrying supplies intercepted before reaching their destination. Artillery pieces positioned to fire on Ukrainian lines, located and struck before they get the chance. One operation, every category of target, personnel, vehicles, guns, each one reached before it accomplishes what it came here to do. 6,400 meters, a Russian Zala Z-20 reconnaissance drone climbing that high specifically to avoid being intercepted. Designed to identify targets at ranges of up to 100 kilometers, it reaches that altitude and still gets caught. Ukraine's Lasar's group interceptor drone closes the distance and finds it anyway. A group of Russian vehicles parked inside a tree line, concealed from ground level, visible from above. Ukraine's 110th Air Assault Brigade drone operators locate each one and work through the position methodically. The vehicles that arrived in the forest don't leave it in working condition. Along the Kostiantynivka direction, Ukraine's Kizak Brigade bomber crews working through Russian threats on the roads. Ambush drones waiting at key points. Remote mining systems positioned to block Ukrainian movement. Precision drops locate each one and neutralize it before it activates. Every ambush drone cleared here is a route that stays open. Every mining system removed is a vehicle that passes through safely. July 29th, 10 more electrical nodes struck across Crimea and occupied Kherson and Luhansk oblasts. High-voltage substations in Kerch, Feodosia, Kyrka, and Yevpatoria, including 330 kilovolt and 220 kilovolt nodes, the highest capacity infrastructure in the peninsula's grid. Since July 1st, 164 energy targets struck in total. Here's what that number means on the ground. Russia's radar systems, communication networks, and air defense equipment in Crimea all depend on stable grid power. When the substation goes, they switch to generators, which run on fuel that the maritime campaign has been systematically cutting off. Take the power and the fuel simultaneously, and the military infrastructure holding Crimea together starts operating on borrowed time. Vehicles, an artillery piece, an ammunition stockpile, an electronic warfare station, and a counter-drone complex, all struck in the same operation along the northern direction by Ukraine's Ismail Border Detachment FPV operators. The counter-drone system that was positioned specifically to protect this sector from exactly this kind of strike gets reached before it can do its job. Shelters damaged alongside everything else. A full sweep of what Russia had assembled in this area. 226 combat engagements recorded today. Pokrovsk, the heaviest sector, with 29 Russian assault attempts. A wedge being pushed between Pokrovsk and Kostiantynivka. Supply runs intercepted by FPV drones before they arrive. At Lyman, 10 breach attempts pushed back. At Kostiantynivka, 27 Russian assaults repelled. Russia pressing on every sector simultaneously. Stopped on every sector simultaneously. The front barely moves. Drop a comment. With 226 clashes in a single day, how does either side break this stalemate?